What's up, guys? I wasn't planning on making a video today, but then I looked at the date and I realized it was May 12th, and I was like, something special about that date. What is it? I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. That's the day I quit my job. 13 years ago, I quit my engineering job to pursue something. And that something turned out to be this zombie guitar thing, you know? I didn't have a plan back then. I sort of had a plan. I had like a very light plan. All I knew was that I didn't want to be working at that job anymore, and I didn't want to go to another job that was similar to that job. I wanted to do something else, and I wanted to do something that was on the internet because that seemed cool. And so, hey, here we are, 13 years later. So if you want to check out my original video that I did when I talked about how I initially quit my job and what my mind state was at that particular point in time in my life, I made another video. It's called I Quit My Job. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, I'll post a link to that one. That's like the first one of these. But anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to make this video today. There's not really a point, honestly. It's just kind of just like, hey, this is the anniversary where I quit my job. Let me make a video about it. So there's not really a point, but I guess if there was a point, I guess it would just to explain like where my mindset is at these days as compared to when I first started. So when you first start to build a business of some sort, your priorities are a little bit different. You have to figure out what the business is going to be, how you're going to, build the business. You have to actually focus on building the thing. You have to figure out how to get your name out there. Hopefully make some sales. That would be cool too. Like all of these things are your initial, that's what you're initially focused on, So I'm at the point now, I've been doing the zombie guitar thing for about 10 years. I've been doing it full time for the last 4 years. Prior to 4 years ago, I was still playing full time in a cover band. I had a couple of roommates living with me, and I was doing the zombie guitar thing as well. As of about 4 years ago, I took the plunge and I was like, you know what? I can't do this cover band thing anymore. I have a kid now. Well, now I have 2 kids, but at that time I only had 1 kid. I was like, I can't be staying out till 6 o'clock in the morning, Friday nights, Saturday nights, Sunday nights, sometimes Tuesday nights, sometimes Thursday nights. Like, I can't be doing this anymore. So I gave that up 4 years ago, and it's just been the zombie guitar thing for the last 4 years, So I've never gotten to the point where I feel like I'm stable. Never. I'm hoping I get there one day. I don't think I will. Maybe I will. I don't know. But I am at the point where I'm like, okay, well, I've been doing this for enough years where I'm like, okay, people are interested in what I have to sell. So people will probably continue buying what it is that I'm selling, So you have ups, you have downs, you have ups, you have downs. But at least I'm like, okay, it's been working for 4 years. It should work for, a little longer at least. Worst case scenario, I stopped making sales altogether. I'm completely forgotten about on the internet. My savings account is completely drained. I go get another job again. That's what I got to do, But I'm not there yet. If I get there, so be it. But anyway, point being is when you first start to build a business, you have these priorities, build the thing, get some sales, get your name out there. I'm past that point, Zombie guitars kind of, people know who it is. People buy the thing that I am selling. I've been building the thing for 10 years, so I have a product to sell and stuff like that. So I'm not there, I'm here. So right now, and you guys might not believe this when I say this, maybe you will, but a lot of people won't. It's not about the money anymore. It's really not. And when I say it's not about the money, that doesn't mean like I just have tons of money so I don't care about it anymore. Like I said, right now, I kind of feel like I'm at a low point of this business. I'm kind of like, what do I got to do to start getting them sales up again? Algorithms aren't really working in my favor. That it is what it is. But again, at this point in my career, it's not about the money. It's about, for me, right now, I got to get this message out, man. Like, I've had the same message since day one. Like, the overarching big picture message is that music theory is easy. That's been my message. That's been the core thing that I'm trying to get out since day one. Music theory is easy. Lots of people overcomplicate music theory. Lots of people are so intimidated by the thought of music theory that they don't even bother to try it. And that's the worst, because once I can convince someone, like, hey, look, you can just try like these couple little things You don't need to learn all of music theory. You don't need to have like a PhD in like advanced jazzology or anything. You can just like take a couple of these little tricks and it will significantly help you as a musician. Like that's it. And then once they realize like, wow, these little tricks helped me as a musician, then they kind of like give it a shot and then they come to find like, hey, music theory is not so hard after all. So that's been like my overarching goal like since I started. But then there's like like that's the big mission. The big mission is to prove that music theory is easy. But then I have these sub missions, like teach the internet about modes, because the whole entire internet, especially the guitar community, it's just like it's yeah, I don't even know what it is, man. It's just modes, man. There's modes, and then there's the cage system. That's another thing. I'll actually use that as an example. Then there's like, how many keys are there? Are there 12 keys? Are there 24 keys? Are there 30 keys? What exactly are you defining a key as? That's very important, because some people define key differently than other people. Which is why this person will say that there's 12 keys and this person will say that there's 30 keys, because each person has a different definition of what a key is. So there's that whole thing. And I don't know, whatever. So just to use an example, like one of these little submissions is the cage system. The analogy I like to use regarding the cage system is, let's say you have a nail and you want to hammer that nail into the piece of wood. The ideal tool to use for that nail would be a hammer. Boop, get it right in there. But if you don't have a hammer around, you have a screwdriver laying there. Your hammer's all the way across the room. You don't feel like getting up and getting your hammer. You just pick up a screwdriver and hammer the nail in with the back of the screwdriver. It works. It gets the job done. But that does not mean that the screwdriver's a hammer. It's not. It's still a screwdriver. And it also doesn't mean that that's the ideal tool for that job. That tool got that job done, but it's not the ideal tool. Now, regarding the cage system, this is where I'm at right now. This is where like my little arguments on Facebook are going on. Not in the Zombie Guitar group, out in the wild west of Facebook. I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, so that's my whole thing. It's like, okay, so the internet, the entire internet just is going on and on about this cage system. They're like, hey, the cage system, it's these 5 scale patterns, the C pattern, the A pattern, the G, E, and D pattern. They all connect together, and then you can play in key. Yay! That's not the cage system. You're using a screwdriver to hammer in a nail by doing that. It gets the job done, but you're missing the point of the cage system. The cage system is a much more powerful tool that can do much more powerful things. And I have like 9 million videos that I can literally, I've proved this. I can explain it in every possible angle you could possibly imagine. And I can link you with every possible, any argument that anyone has. They're like, well, I don't think so for this reason. I'm like, I made a video about that, So I literally have like this uncontrollable urge, and I don't know why. But it's because it's, like I said, it's not about, this thing is not about trying to make more money. This is not going to make me more money. If anything, it's going to make me more enemies. But it's just like this thing, because the entire internet is talking about the cage system as these 5 connecting scale patterns, and it's not right. It's using a screwdriver to hammer in a nail. And I just make these posts, and when I say going out into the wild west of Facebook, like I have my Zombie Guitar Members Facebook group full of cool people. Everyone there is super awesome. And I'm not just saying they're awesome just because they agree with me. You don't have to agree with me. That's fine. But they're just nice. They're not like idiots. They're not, they don't argue about stuff that they don't understand. If they don't understand something, they'll say, hey, I don't understand this thing. Can you explain it to me? And then if I don't explain it to them, someone else will explain it to them. It's whatever. But it's a civilized little community we got there. Thank you for being that way, Zombie Guitar Facebook group. Thank you. I'm talking about the Wild West of Facebook. The Wild West of Facebook is where I take my Zombie Guitar Facebook page and I'm just like, I'm going to make a post, because there's like 8 million other guitar Facebook pages out there that make these posts, and they spread this crap around the internet about this cage system stuff. And they make a little post about it. I'm like, hey, look, this is what the internet says the cage system is, and it's not that, because you're missing the point. It's actually about this other thing. And then I post a bunch of links to free videos. They're all YouTube videos, completely free. Like, this is why. You can go to the Zombie Guitar Facebook page right now, and you can actually look and see what's going on if you want to check it out. So it is literally just about me trying to get this message out. And then, oh my God, the comments, dude. Oh, just like memes and stuff. And like, oh, you look at this moron. Who's this guy? Blah, blah. Like, oh my, like. And the arguments that these people come up with is just like absolutely insane. Like I'm sitting there trying to explain to them, I'm like, the cage system is about chords, not scale shapes. That's the thing. That's my point. And then they start coming at me with like modes, Mixolydian mode, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, what? Why? What? I didn't even mention modes. Why are you even talking about that stuff? And this is the internet, man. This is the whole entire internet. Like, they don't know what they're talking about. They're very good at regurgitating information that they've heard from like 96 other sources, and they kind of put it together in their head. They're like, oh, I don't really know what I'm talking about, but I can regurgitate it enough. So then they see this guy being like, hey, look, the cage system's not that way. It's actually this other way. And then here's a bunch of videos to prove it. They don't watch any of those videos. They're just like, my opinion. You're a moron. Blah, blah, blah. And now listen, I know that I don't have to deal with that stuff. I don't have to put myself out there and be like taking this barrage of hate from all these people. I could just not make the post in the first place. Like, then it would never happen. But I don't know. Like I said, it's like this drive inside me. It's like it's this compulsion, man. It's an obsessive compulsion thing that's inside of me, where I see all this crap being spread around the internet, and I'm like, that is not right. It's just not right. And it just makes my blood boil. And then I go on and make my own content trying to explain about how that thing is not right and how it is not going to help you. It's going to harm you in the long run. And I make my own content. And then I put my own content out there. And then as a result, I'm like, oh, I got to deal with these idiots that are just like arguing with me. And they just don't even know what they're even arguing about. They don't even know. They just like to argue. But yeah, that's where I'm at, man. That's where I'm at right now. It's not about the money right now at this point in my life. Money's cool. I would like to have more money. Absolutely would love to have more money. I would even love to get to the point where I get back to the point where I was like 5 years ago, man. I used to be able to make a YouTube video and I don't know, I would get like 10,000 views, no problem. Like, it didn't even have to be a great video. Now I put like so much time and effort into a YouTube video, and it flops. You know, it gets like 1,000 views and then it disappears into the internet abyss, never to be seen again. So yeah, it would be cool if like I got more views and I made more money and stuff like that, and that's awesome. But I don't really care. Like, believe me, don't believe me, I don't. Whatever. It's not about the money. It is about me trying to get this message out at this point. I want to get this message out, and I'm not going to stop. I'm going to be relentless with it, man. The more that people push back against my message, the harder I'm going to come at the internet with it. You know, the more people try and be like, no, you're stupid, you don't know what you're talking about. Pfft, I'll make 35 more videos, and I will make 35 more posts, and hopefully people will come back and start calling me a moron and making memes, because then I'll make 75 more posts, and I'm just going to barrage the internet with it. I'm going to get my message out there. Now, people are either going to love me for this or they're going to hate me for this, and I don't really care. So far, up to this point, it appears that most of the people that watch my videos seem to like me. And thank you guys. You guys are awesome. I love you too. I don't know every single one of you guys that watches my stuff, but I have interacted with a lot of you. I've emailed back and forth with you guys. I've commented Facebook comments and stuff. I even had some Zoom calls with a couple of you guys, or Skype, or whatever the little face talkie on the internet thing is, whatever. Everyone I've ever dealt with was super cool, you know? So if things continue that way, then I'm going to hopefully have more fans as time goes on. But my relentlessness in getting this message out, and it's like, I don't care that the message is coming. This is provable, objectively true information, and it's getting out there, man. And if you internet don't like it, well, then you're going to hate me for it, and there ain't nothing I can do about that. So I'm either going to be really, really, really loved by a lot of people, or I'm going to be really, really, really hated by a lot of people, and I don't really care. Or I'm just not. People are just going to ignore me, and they're like, yeah, whatever. Just scroll to the next video. Who cares, you know? So that could happen too. But yeah, that's where I'm at, man. It's all about getting that message out. I want to get this message out. Modes are not patterns on the fretboard. The cage system is not about connecting scale patterns together. And there's 12 key signatures, or 15 if you want to be like a dork about it. But even if you say 15, I still got your back. I still agree with you on that front. Anything more than 15, I don't agree with you on. Anyway, so that's where I'm at this particular point in time in my life, at this particular point in time in my self-employment career of 13 years now. I did make a video about 2 years ago on my May 12th anniversary, and it was a little bit more on the negative side of things. It was more kind of me like, oh man, this is so hard and blah, blah, blah. And sorry, I actually erased that video because I'm a freaking YouTuber, man. Like, this is a cake job. This is a cake job. I've had many, many jobs in my life. I'm not opposed to going back and working those other jobs again. It's just I thought it would be really cool if I could teach guitar out of my own house for a living, and I've managed to make that happen for this long. If it ever stops happening, there's no crying about it. It's just, all right, that thing isn't working anymore. Go get another job. That's the way it is, you know? So when I was complaining a couple years ago, if you happen to remember that video, sorry about that. Things are a little stressful sometimes as a self-employed person because you got to worry about it all. You know, it's like if the paychecks stop coming in, you can't just call up human resources and be like, hey, where's my paycheck at? It's just like, no paycheck. All right, what do I do? How do I get a paycheck again? You know, you got to kind of figure that stuff out. Or, you know, if you're whatever, I don't know, if you happen to have a website and it's the year 2021, you know, and you happen to have a website that has 3,000 videos on it, and that's your business, that's your product, that's your thing that you've been working on for 5 years, and you already have like a few thousand members that have paid to access and watch these videos, and then you get a threatening call from a company, from the company who hosts these videos on your websites, or not a call, a threatening email, and the company says, give us $5,000 a year, we're just going to push this little button and we're going to shut off all your videos, and then you won't have a business anymore. We can do that. We can just push a little button and then all your videos are gone. Are you going to give us $5,000 or not? Yeah, that happens too. That happened to me back in 2021. Some of you guys may remember that. That was scary. I did not give that company $5,000 per year. I didn't give them any of my money. I told them to go F themselves, and then I figured stuff out. I had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning every single day for like 3 months straight and basically rebuild an entire website from scratch on the side while still trying to keep up with my weekly content production. But I did manage to get through, and I came out the other side stronger with a better platform that I now run on as compared to what I was doing before. But yeah, things like that happen and it sucks. But hey, man, that's what being self-employed is. That's the life I chose. I wouldn't trade it for anything else. But if I was ever forced to have to trade it for something else, like I stopped making money altogether from the zombie guitar business, then hey, I just go get another job. It is what it is. I've had many jobs before. I'll get more if I have to. So anyway, yeah, that's where I'm at, man. But as I said, it's about the message. I want to get my message out there. I'm going to get my message out there. Take it easy.